Living the kid.
What's up? Geektastic Cypher here on FranklinArmstrong.com.
In the kitchen, we're twisting like a stir fry. Sorry. I got
Migos?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
See, you know.
I know it because
You're a purist, but you know Migos.
I mean, because of my job.
Yeah, but still, as long as you know Migos, if you're out here loving hip hop, you love Migos. I mean, you like Migos, you acknowledge them.
Yeah, I respect what Migos does. I'm not going to pretend like that's one of the things. I was just talking to one of the new girls at work. Shout outs to Eva. She's a DJ, hip hop. She DJs hip hop, trap and stuff like that. Right. And like just listening to her talk about, we were just talking a bit about hip hop and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was just like, and I explained to her one of the reasons I stepped down when I was the hip hop music director at. I
like how you dropped that flex. Not how I stepped down.
Well, I mean, not in like I didn't step down like because I was angry or anything, but I mean I was the hip hop music director at CJLO for like 10 years almost. And it got to a point where I stepped down as the program director because I realized I didn't necessarily understand what the students wanted anymore. Mm-hmm. Like I was an old head. Like I had been at the school. I graduated in 2007.
Oh shit.
So I got the job as the program director in 2007. I was the hip hop music director the year before I graduated. Right. I started at CJLO in 2004, so I was actually in university. But then by 2012, I had been there for 5 years. I'd been there for 8 years, right, but had been the program director for 5 years, and I just didn't understand the student life anymore. I wasn't a student. I didn't see things the same way students did. Like there is a pretty big gap between, because university is 3 years.
Yeah.
So, I went through 4 generations of university by the time I left. Eesh. So I really, to me, it really was a big gap.
Yeah.
So when I realized that, I was just like, well, I think it's time for me to step down because I don't think I connect with what the students want.
You're not connect with them no more.
Yeah. And then when I was the hip hop music director, I kept that position for another 4 years. But then that got to the point where, Migos and Trey Songz and Travis Scott and, all these cats are like the big thing.
And you were like, I don't know these guys.
And like Lil Uzi Vert and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I knew of them.
You didn't connect with it.
But I just didn't connect with it.
Yeah.
And I was telling you about Grapevine,
yes,
this channel on YouTube, and they were talking about hip-hop artists and Kodak Black and this whole bunch of stuff, and they were throwing out hip-hop artists and stuff and referring to how the modern-day hip-hop is, like our generation of hip-hop, like that golden era was the pusher generation of hip-hop.
Yeah.
And this generation is the user.
Yeah.
And I've never done drugs. You know that.
Never, no.
In my entire life, never smoked weed. Dude, when I was younger, I wouldn't even take Tylenol. Like I was one of those. Like I just didn't. I was just like, I'm not gonna do drugs.
Yeah.
I was like a little almost religious about it, which was a little ridiculous. You're in pain. You have a headache. You're not out here. You're out here. You're just like, well, I'm not gonna.
I ain't about to do no kind of drugs.
Yeah, I'm not taking Tylenol. I'm in pain, but I'm just gonna drink some water and have some almonds and
have some vitamins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So when I guess one of the reasons that, and I'm not saying you have to be a user to understand what these users are talking about.
Yeah.
But it probably helps. I mean, it probably helps to get that lifestyle and understand that movement, and and it's not like I'm saying you have to be addicted, but if you are a casual user, if you do coke, if you take a little speed, I don't know, Special K, Molly, I don't know all these names that I only know them because I worked in an emergency room, but but if you do those drugs and that's your thing, then you understand that you get those songs a little bit better.
For sure.
Because what they're talking about is something you may have somewhat experienced.
Yeah, I mean, I don't take no kind of lean or cocaine or anything. I smoke weed. But I see it from the party aspect, and I also see it from, this is the mind of a 16 to 18-year-old kid kind of singing songs for his friends.
Yeah.
So when I was really doing this hip-hop shit, when I was 22, 23, I was talking about things that I was doing at 22, 23. I was not talking to 30-year-olds.
No.
I was not talking to 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was talking to the age group of where directly in front of me.
Yeah.
So I understand that Kool Herc and them didn't like DOS Effects.
Yeah.
I understand that, Tribe Called Quest may not have liked 50 Cent.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, but I see. Yeah,
See,
exactly.
I understand that 50 Cent or like you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
we're not supposed to like it because it's not for us.
That's the same thing the Grapevine people were saying.
Yeah,
like they were saying that you got to hold the hip hop artists accountable for what they're saying, but at the same time, you got to realize that it's not really your message because you're not that age. You're not living that life.
Not only that, they're only growing up and realizing what they're doing now. Look, okay, my perfect example of this, look at Waka Flocka Flame back then. When he first came out, look at Waka. And I'm not talking, check his music, it will change, but look at his interviews back then.
Yeah.
And look at his interviews now.
Yeah.
Completely different person.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
the
grow.
way he's talking about, they grow. So
I mean, even just listening to like a JawzD interview from when he first started, him talking about Dame and the street hustle and stuff like that, to an interview with Jay-Z now, Mr. Black presidents and keep that money in the families,
the
and
high black socks that like the businessmen wear and things, and like the cardigan sweaters. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, and Eminem is another one who said that. Eminem, and I don't know who I had this conversation with recently, but Eminem said the same thing. He's just like, I can't rap about being broke and my ex and my mom anymore because I'm not broke. I don't have an ex, and I don't talk to my mom. So I'm not gonna, like I grew as an artist. So when people are upset that, Eminem's rapping about money and drugs, it's just like, because I got money and I started doing drugs.
You know what's messed up to me though? Everyone wants the kids today to be more like the golden era hip hop. Everyone wants to keep talking about the golden era hip hop. Yeah. You know what the golden era hip hop was talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Being broke.
Yeah.
Not having money.
Yeah.
Food stamps type shit.
Yeah.
Being broke.
And hustling
to get that money.
To get that money. To
Give Up the Goods by Mobb Deep is legit.
Yeah.
Talking about robbing kids.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so if I don't see how, and I'm talking about everybody. I'm not just talking about black people, white people. I'm talking about everybody. I don't see how you're going to want a whole culture of music to go back to talk about poverty and their hood stories.
That's an interesting point.
I don't see how you want us to go back to doing that when really we're changing the subject, because obviously either things have gotten better or we've realized talking about that is not going to solve anything.
Yeah. But I see what you're saying, and I think if anything, you make a very interesting point that some people would touch on the fact that, well, what if they want you to be poor still? Well, what maybe there are businessmen out there who want that and are perpetuating that mentality of like, well, are you okay with this type of hip hop talking about drugs? And then, like you said, like, do you want us to go back to the poverty conversation? And then maybe man, I'm not saying white, black again. I'm saying maybe there are some people that felt
want that back.
Yeah. Like,
the hip hop purists who like, oh, I miss the 90s. You miss me talking about welfare care.
Yeah.
You miss me talking about how I can't get paid. And as I'm Millie Rocker, when I do this, is like, literally, you miss me talking about being poor, struggling, don't know where I'm going to get my next meal, maybe having to rob somebody. Yeah. That's what you miss.
But, I mean, some people make the observation that...
I'm going to keep going.
Sorry,
no. But as I'm also doing that, those are some. Then there's the Talib Kwalis that are really going deeper and being like, the government's really doing this and so on. So then you have the major companies that get a hold of this hip-hop, which what they did with rock music. They have it now. And the major artists that are making this money, the Travis Scotts and so on and so forth, Kendrick's out here spreading a message no matter what. But it's just that they're not really... I'm trying to think of the word of what I'm saying. They're not really... they're trying to monetize it. That's it. They're trying to monetize it so that, more or less, if you keep talking trash about the government, you keep talking trash about what the industry or major companies are doing in the prison system, so on and so forth, then it's not really a good look on, Uncle Sam. So what do? We take it, we pay them, we buy it, through the labels, through whoever these companies, these brands that pick up these... Because, I mean, listen... It's not me and you that's picking who gets picked and who gets on.
No,
right?
No.
Little Uzi Vert didn't just get, you know what I'm saying? Like that's yes, your state voting for you. Yes, people kind of going for you and like being like, I love this music, but it's also some being like, hey, we like him, let's work with him.
Yeah.
And then they take you, drain your music out, give it no message, and then pump it back out. Because Little Uzi Vert was spitting, boom bap before.
Was he really?
Yes, he was. Oh. And then he came back, and then he's like, oh, maybe he kind of rethought his brand, whatever. Brand.
Yeah.
And then
So, I mean, that's one thing. Hip-hop has that. Hip-hop will always have that kind of weird situation of trying to stay pure with its message But at the same time, like we were saying, they grew, they made money, and you can't expect people who change their entire lifestyles to nod to people. Like, they can nod to them, and they'll show respect. But you can't expect you can't expect them to just be like, well, you know, let me fake it for you. Because that's the other thing. Would you prefer they fake it? Like,
no.
Like, I wouldn't want
them for faking it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, that's one thing. Remember when we were younger and people used to, like, people would rap and people would do hip hop, and someone who was like, you know, people call out Diddy.
Yeah, you're not real. You ain't doing it.
People
That's
call
not
out
you.
Diddy for being like, once they found out his history. Yeah. People call out Rick Ross. They're just like, you were a corrections officer. Yep. Like,
yep.
Yeah, like, you know, if you're trying to talk about hip hop and it's about being pure, these kids are talking about purely what they're going through right now.
What their experiences are. It's like, just that because we're not at the same level of it, we can't identify with it. Not we, but them. And then some get really mad about it in their feelings. And
thank you, Kanye.
You know, hey man, Kanye.
Thank you, Kanye.
Thank you, Kanye.
He inspired a lot of people to do that, just like how the Fugees inspired a lot of people. Hey, let me take a guitar into this. Oh, I could sing more on this. I could put on some harmony. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah, you can add layers to hip hop. Yeah, that's true. That's another thing. That's what we're saying.
They never let us categorize it. There, bong. I'm gonna say it. They never let us categorize hip hop. Like, you see, you have alt rock, you have pop rock, you have this rock, you have grunge, you have punk. They never let us do. And when they did, and I'm saying they, y'all know who you are. when I said they also just did it for us. So then we got like gangster rap.
Yeah.
And then remember when rap and hip hop were different things?
Yeah.
At some point, we're like
I'm still trying to figure that out.
I was like, hold on, wait. And then, but okay. Then you had the gangster rap. You had rap. You had hip hop. Then there
conscious
was
or like
conscious,
backpacker,
and then now everything that even falls remotely into a Dirty South 808 is just trap music.
Yeah,
it's not all trap people.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one. The trap scene has become a trap for just anything that has a similar sound.
Yeah,
it's trap. Like at my work, you know, I get a whole. It's crazy because I'm the one that pulls the R&B and hip hop from the different sources we have.
Yeah.
For my division, I should say, not the whole company. But when I do it, it's crazy to hear and especially see what's labeled as trap. Like some of these R&B songs,
you're like
some of the songs will say R&B soul, and then like the same artist further down will say trap, and it's the same style. Different song, but the same similar artist.
Who's working in these companies?
It's weird. And then you're wondering, like, what is... And then, I mean, that's the throwback to when I was the hip-hop music director at the radio station. And anytime there was a black guy in a band, they would send it to me and be like, urban.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have...
Back. You want to hear the flip side of that? I remember, Robin Thicke was talking on George Stroumboulopoulos' show, and it was something he mentioned during the commercial break, and George was like, no, talk about that. And he said, when I go on to... literally white radio stations are like, oh, Alan Thicke's son is doing music, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
And then when you go to black radio stations, like, oh, yo, it's Alan Thicke. Oh,
yeah, like they
it's Robin Thicke. Oh my goodness. Like, because they know his music, they know his repertoire. He's been making music since he was 16.
Yeah.
And I always get really, really upset when people say, oh, Robin Thicke is the poor man's Justin Timberlake. I mean,
they've been around probably as long.
Robin Thicke has been making music when Justin was probably still in the
NSYNC.
No, before
or Disney.
Disney, yeah, Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, because Robin Thicke's older.
Yeah, I think he's older.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, but he's also been like, there's also been stories about him like talking to his ex-wife like back when they're in high school about, wait, where are you going? She's like, you're just playing music. No, this is JawzD. This is JawzD, girl. I'm playing some JawzD for you.
Yeah. I mean, all these artists. Yeah. That's one thing about, and you know, we're gonna probably move on to the DTD real quick, but we just
tell me your clapper story.
Oh yeah. That, you know, I'll do that super quick actually. Actually, you know, hypothetical.
Go into gun story. Talking about some guns.
So
talking about hip hop.
And you know what's messed up? It's the second time I've seen one up close.
You've seen all these clappers up close.
Well, so I went to spring break when I was younger, and there's like a group of Americans that we were hanging out with, and the American guys from like Plattsburgh, actually, funny enough, their passports went missing, and they got pissed because they thought they had been hanging out with all of us, and they thought we did.
Somebody pulled out the
Roscoe? Someone pulled out an eagle.
What?
Goldeneye type things.
They need protection.
They need Jesus.
I don't. First of all, why are you carrying a strap all the way from Plattsburgh?
No, but a Desert Eagle too on top of
That's
it.
a long ass gun.
Yes,
That's gonna break your arm.
And
if you're not careful.
I remember seeing it and being confused by what was happening because I was also drunk. We're on spring break, and I just remember afterwards being like someone showed me a picture of a guy. I was like, oh, that's what that was.
You shook?
Did they even find?
Yeah, it was the maid. She got fired.
Oh,
yeah, they found out. Yeah. Within like 2 days, they found out she had been stealing passports from people's rooms and stuff.
Flip mode.
Yeah, like a full on like crazy story like that.
Ooh. That's a flip mode. Really.
Yeah, so that happened. That was years ago. And then last night.
What?
Last night I took a friend to the ER. My friend happens to be quite attractive, so there's like these 3 guys, and one of the guys like, yo, your girlfriend is like mad hot, man, and it's like talking to him like she's not my girl, but you know,
niggas is not pulling Roscoe out on you while you're.
Yeah, so at the hospital.
Wow, people are wild.
In the entrance to the hospital, trying to talk up my friend who's not interested because she's at the ER because she's not feeling well.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like trying to get homie to like step off. Like, can you just leave us alone? Like, she's not really in the mood to talk. I'm not in the mood to talk. And he's, he's being all like bravado and
as they do.
White dude.
Mixed.
Oh, damn.
As fair as
damn
the
you
day is
envy.
long.
Damn you, DJ Envy.
He's everybody.
Oh, beige rage.
Beige rage. You see
beige
that's
rage.
What you witnessed some beige rage.
Boo! I don't like how everyone's staring at me out of nowhere. I don't like it.
Beige rage. But yeah, no,
because that means I'm not allowed to get mad. Because black people just throw that in my face. That's not cool.
We ain't never seen this one, man.
Oh, you don't want to.
I wonder why.
I fight dirty.
But yeah, so then the guy's just like, he's like, at one point when I'm telling him like, can you just really leave us alone? Like I stepped between my friend, I stepped to make him realize like I'm not playing, like back off.
Yeah, especially if you realize that he thought that was your girl. Like disrespect.
Yeah. So then
no one cares.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because already he was just like,
oh, that's not yours. Like, well, then let me try to.
Oh yeah, even worse.
I know people like that.
I don't think I shouldn't have to pretend to be her boyfriend for someone to just leave her alone.
Yeah, I mean,
so I wasn't gonna start pretending to be her boyfriend just for the sake.
Actually, I have a friend of mine. She told me that when dudes come and hit up on her, what she'll do, she'll find the first black guy and just like, yo, can you just? I'm getting harassed by this other dude. Can you just pretend to be my boyfriend for a bit?
No.
Okay, no problem.
Don't put us in that shit.
No,
right?
But usually the guys will be like, oh, cool, and they're fine, and they're super nice, and they're not assholes about it, and they're like, hey, could you leave us alone? Oh, and then the guys run away.
She's lucky that because not everybody would act like that.
Situation.
Like in this situation, that guy still stepped.
Yeah.
So he lifts up. He did the lift. He lifts up the shirt and shows the piece.
Now wait, how are you in a hospital with a gun? 2, where are the security? 3,
well,
what?
So I worked in Emerge at the same hospital, so I know like. So we were outside of the glass doors. Security is there, but they can't really see us from where they are.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to blame security. How are you in a hospital with a gun? It's not the first time. I mean, you guys might have heard stories recently.
Word.
Yeah, they were like, oh, there was no gun. In the end, from what I understand, there really was a gun that time.
Word.
So, I mean, and it comes down to just people are crazy. Like, I don't understand. And then he starts telling her, like, yo, you got a really good friend right here. You got a really good friend. And she's like, yeah, I know. And he's just like, yeah, because homeboy was about to get up right now. And I'm just like, I'm just ignoring him at this point.
I would have been like, you do know there's cameras there.
Oh, yeah.
There.
And that's the other thing.
I know you want to step and you're showing off. I don't want you to get arrested and ID'd.
My favorite part about
that's how I usually do. I use my head. I can't. But
I gotta ask, in the world where you're trying to win over a woman's affection,
right?
Why would threatening her friend be the? That's the like. Let's say he really did think my friend is the most attractive woman, and he genuinely wants to speak to her, and she's single, which she is not. But let's say she was single.
Yep. Show off that piece, yo. That's how it works.
Why is threatening?
It's a wild motherfucking West.
Exactly.
And yeehaw,
because it's worked before.
Yeah, that's you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm wondering. Like,
I think most of the time when guys think of like I got a solid plan. Beep beep. Oh yeah, she knows. She knows. You drove way past her.
Oh yeah, the honks.
Yeah. She knows. Yeah.
That's the was it Jerry Seinfeld came up with that one?
Yeah, it was
That's
just
the best we came up with.
It was just a weird interaction. A weird interaction.
Holler at a girl while you're in the passenger's part of the car. Yeah, that'll get her.
But that's it. So in that interaction, afterwards we just went back in, and then they came into the emergency, and they were just being loud to the point where security actually did come up to them because they were drinking out in front of people.
What were they there for?
One of their boys was hurt. He was on crutches.
He probably got shot because of
yeah. So anyways, so that's so 2 times in my life that I've been threatened with, and not because I did anything. Right. That's the crazy part.
I've been told that the person I've screamed on had a gun afterwards, and I didn't care. Not that I was trying to be but in the situation, the person was like, when you're out, and dude might know your girlfriend, but might not, but he's still all like, hey, Huggy McHuggerson, right?
Yeah.
You ever meet Huggy McHuggerson who just can't get the deal that, listen, she's with me.
Yeah.
She's my girlfriend, and I don't think you understand, but you're not going to just level up and keep hugging her, and she's going to just all of a sudden fall in love with you.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'm just like, okay, once is cool, twice I'm getting kind of annoyed, third time, please make it stop. Fourth time, I'm coming between you two.
No, I go 3. I go 3.
The fourth time, I was just like, listen, I'm not your friend. She's not your friend. This happens again, you and I are going to have a problem. Yeah. And I'm not a fighter.
I know.
At this point,
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you're just going to be like, well, it's not even a matter of fight. It's a matter of don't touch people.
Yeah.
Even let's say we erase
unison.
We take away all the levels. Take away the fact that it's your girl. Just in general, if you're in public and this person is there and you hug them the one time and they're cool with it, that's it. Why don't hug people 2, 3, 4
But it wasn't even a nice hug. It's the hug that your old aunt gives you, the ass out joint that's all around, so you're trying to get the whole spine. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But it's just all of that. That's all weird. Unless you are like that with the person and you and that person are tight and this is okay between you.
You didn't know her. You met her
exactly.
That night. You met her that night.
Don't.
She's like, hey, girl. Yeah. I'm like, you did not just see her kiss me 2 seconds ago.
I know.
Anyways, to that DTD.
Yeah, so we're going to get into DTD.
There was a bouncer that told me he had a gun, by the way. That's weird.
Yeah.
So shout to the bouncer who told me dude had a gun, but didn't get anyways.
But did he kick it? Anyways. No,
you know what I mean? Anyways.
Okay, kids. So from the violence to the kids.
Hey, it got very real. On a special episode.
This week, we got the battle of the PBS puppet shows. Yeah, that's right. We're going with kids shows, which Puzzle Play I only remembered when I saw all the kids, and I remember
Puzzle Place.
Oh, sorry, was that my bet? Oh, yeah. Puzzle Place. Apologies. Yes.
Well, I remember the show now after I saw the puppets.
I was thinking play along for Lamb Chops when I wrote it. So that's necessary.
They had that cute kid. Well, not even cute. They had the puppet with the bandana.
I like that you said cute kid.
Named Sky, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'm never naming my son Sky. So Puzzle Plays between. So our DTD this week, which for everyone who has forgotten or doesn't remember or hasn't listened to past episodes, it stands for Drain, Team Up, and Defeat. Yeah. In this case, we are actually going to drain a kid show, team up with another kid show to beat the living hell out of another one. Our choices this week are Puzzle Place, not Puzzle Play. It was a PBS show between late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to say 96 and 99. Then we got Sesame Street, which is forever long.
Yeah, Sesame
If you don't know Sesame
Street,
it's
on HBO now.
HBO
true. Kids right now.
HBO has the kids now. That's great. Awesome. And then Lamb Chops Play Along, which has everybody's favorite song that wouldn't end.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna give it over to Wendell.
Oh, I'll go on first.
Yeah, you don't want to go first.
So
too late.
To me, I think I'm going to probably drain Lamb Chops Play Along just because of how the jokes are in the show. It's just like Sesame Street. It's a legacy show.
Yes.
Sherry Lewis started it way back when TVs were in color.
Yeah.
Oh no, not in color.
In black and white.
Black and white. And she was very young. And then she brought it back on PBS. And it's in the 90s. It's Incarnation. Then Music
show.
Pizza. And then I think when she passed away, her daughter took up the mantle. But she does it more for people our age. It's more like Lamb Chops is more.
Oh yeah,
dirty. Yeah,
more
jokes. Yeah. That's how she kind of plays it up now.
That's an interesting legacy.
I'd like to see that. That's cool.
If I remember right, and just the way the show is, it's more that show in particular is more about a family because they're all, I guess, they're kids technically.
Yeah. That was a weird thing, right? They were supposed to be her adopted kids.
Yes. I guess they don't
Lamb
really.
Chop was a little girl. Charlie Horse was kind of in his teens, and Hush Puppy was just dumb.
Charlie Horse I think Hush Puppy and Lamb Chop were one of the originals, and then Charlie Horse was like
the
Zubaz, Zubaz pants.
Zubaz pants. He was Poochie? You mean he was Poochie?
I'm being dead serious, but he was kind of snarky and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
he was Poochie the dog on Itchy and Scratchy.
no, but they didn't kill him off though.
No, but you know how
I know
Poochie
what
was
you
all
mean.
like, hey,
he was
cool
the 80s
cats.
kid. He was like the 90s, like, hey, I'm 90s.
Yeah.
And with the backwards hat.
Damn that.
I'm
horse doing with the backwards hat.
Yeah. I'm gonna team up with Sesame Street.
I mean, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Again,
with that roster.
Another legacy show. I think some of the kids from the 90s are on the show right now, if I remember right, or at least Gordon and.
Oh yeah.
Like
on Sesame Street. Yeah, they continued.
Yeah, they continued.
Gordon's a legacy character.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's been there since the 70s.
Yeah,
Gordon's
a lot like him. I think there was the deaf girl Linda, Bob.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Mr. Hooper passed
Louise.
away.
Hooper. Well, there's a few. I think there was 2 Mr. Hoopers.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Because that's how I
Hooper's
remember they
Drugstore.
handled
There was an episode,
death. Yeah, and it was about him passing
Maria.
away. Yes, Maria. The first crush.
Yeah. And her husband. I can't remember his
Louise.
name. Yeah,
Louise.
Louise. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Their daughter. They didn't have a daughter.
yeah,
Yes.
Gabrielle, I think.
Yeah.
So sadly, I'm going to defeat Puzzle Place, but I don't want to because I actually did dig that show, and I did dig that. Oh, it really
Can't
felt
have it both ways.
I know I can't, but that's the one that's
Yeah,
gotta go. It's sad. Like I think Sesame Street and Puzzle Place are kind of like, oh, I go to school and I see everybody that's different from me.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I respect that. That's true.
And so that show tried to make it a little bit more realistic.
Yeah.
with its
See,
characters.
So I'm gonna do mine. I'm draining Puzzle Place specifically for what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the fact that the world they created was meant to be diverse.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they did it diversity for diversity's sake, you know, as people do now in television. But
They really had every color.
They
in
had
that
everybody.
show.
They really, it did seem like they were just genuinely trying to tell a story, and they wanted all the kids to feel represented, and
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
love about it. And not anything against Sesame Street, they do something similar, but they did it, like you said, Sesame Street has that legacy, so their way of doing it was very much through.
You got monsters.
Yeah.
You got Grouches. They're actually
Everything
different
exists.
from monsters. You
Yeah.
got Muppets, and then you got all the human people, and then
Exactly.
you got worms, and then you got
So that's
Snuffleupagus. Like,
I'm gonna drain.
they went nuts with it.
I'm draining Puzzle Place, and I'm going to team up with Sesame Street. I'm going to bring Puzzle Place over into Sesame Street because my partner was saying earlier today,
They're the same style of pups.
not just that, but she was just like, I mean, you got to bring Sesame Street into it. You get to meet everybody. Like, you get
For real though, yeah.
Prince comes through.
Yeah.
You know, you get
Yo,
to
save on though.
yeah.
You teach me how to
well,
tap dance.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Like, so Sesame Street has that legacy, but it also has all those cool people who just happen to walk on by.
They just so happen to be in the neighborhood.
Exactly.
Hey, look, it's Aerosmith. And you're like, wait, what?
But
Living
yeah,
on this block forever.
But I'm not certain. Like I'm not because I know Puzzle Place isn't Jim Henson.
no, it's not.
It's not it, but like I know
Straight
like
Jack the Puppets.
But I know
Similar style,
I know
yeah.
that style of puppets come into play with like My Cousin Skeeter,
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, like other shows. and
Whimsy's
stuff like-
House. All that style was like
Yeah.
very similar.
But yeah, so that's, and then I'm defeating Lamb Chops.
Lamb?
We're gonna turn Charlie Horse into glue.
Oh,
Have some
geez.
delicious lamb chops.
That's just cold,
that's
man.
wild.
And
Crazy.
what's the last one?
These are
Hush Puppy?
children.
Hush Puppy.
Jeez,
What's his
he
last?
didn't even lose a
Hush Puppy,
race.
yeah.
Hush Puppy. You know, you just eat hush puppies. You know. Just...
You crazy.
Oh man.
Listen, I'm going to drain.
He said defeat.
I'm
He said
draining
defeat.
Lamb Chop because
Okay.
as much as that show was for kids, the reason I watched it because it had that touch of adult content that you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was.
Well, because some like the reason I chose to drain it because like some of the jokes were more old school setup jokes
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
So I felt it on that
Yeah.
way. I'm like watching like Looney Tunes and
Yeah.
that's a playback on like vaudeville and all that kind
So
of stuff.
I'm gonna drain Lamb Chop's play along. Sesame Street has to be the team up. If for anything, and you're an OG head if you remember this. Anyone can get at me on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You're an OG head if you remember this. The night that Maria gives birth to Gabrielle.
Oh,
Right?
I thought you were gonna say the fire when the fire happened.
Oh, we're not even gonna get to the fire.
Yeah,
yet.
that's
That's
true.
really OG.
Yeah.
Super OG. But this one is like this one hit home. This nigga Oscar the Grouch pulls a phone. Don't know how you have a phone line in your trash can. Pulls out a phone. My dude calls the hospital. No waiting. No let me speak to. Give me room. This direct line to Maria. Calls her. How you doing? Asks her how the birthing went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ends the episode. Fade out. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Oscar
was the baddest man from that point.
Oscar was a grouch, but he wasn't actually an asshole.
Yeah.
He was actually like, you know what, let me see how people are doing.
Yeah.
Scram.
How you gonna
but then
be
he has grouchketeers.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's
How
the
you gonna
president
be
of
a
his own
grouch?
fan club.
How you gonna be a grouch and actually have like a heart like that? So Puzzle
Yeah.
Place is you have that whole ethnic diversity and everything. I don't remember shit about your show, and I watched it every day.
Oh, that's sad.
If I don't remember
That's where
nothing
they're
about your
gone.
show
No,
except for I
that's
have
fair.
to see your puppets to be like, oh yeah,
I remember.
That's
I
fair.
actually actively remember some stuff. Like they were talking about some dude coming to the place, and it's like, oh, he's a really good dancer. And it turns out the guy's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And,
I do
remember that
and then
one.
he's
Yeah,
jamming
yeah.
with them and stuff.
And some of them's acting weird. Who was acting weird with them? Was it the
I think
blonde kid?
I think it was the girl. I can't remember. I think
Is
it
that
was
the
the girl. It was the white girl.
The white girl.
I forgot.
Yeah, she was acting. Yeah.
And then there was another episode where it was Christmas, and someone, the blonde kid, brought his menorah, and the girl again, she thought it was like an ornament.
Yeah.
And she put it in the tree. He's like, no, that's not what it's for. And he explains to her what Hanukkah is. And
Oh, this is the
stuff
girl
like
with the
that.
pigtails? Or
Yeah,
something?
I
She
think
was
so.
wild stupid. She'd always have the
But she didn't know. But
She wild stupid.
She didn't know. But that's what you're there. You're there to learn.
Dotish.
Because that happens to a lot of people. I'm telling you. That happens to a lot of people.
No, I know. And the show took that opportunity to teach kids. It's just funny
The
because
Jamaican kid be like, move, guy, you're doing this.
But yeah, I mean that's.
And they had a native kid in there and stuff.
They had every kid in
Asian
there.
kid. Yeah.
Every kid.
I respect what they were doing. That's like I said. That's why I drained them because I like that idea of the diversity.
They
Lamb
had the
Chops is
Peace
great,
Police.
but sorry.
They had the Peace Police.
Yeah, like everything, like all these shows did try and teach as much. Like these shows are definitely
Not Lazy Town. Lazy Town didn't teach nobody nothing.
No, yeah.
Lazy
So
Town
we
was some
taught
bullshit.
you how to make a cake
Yeah.
and then mix that with Lil Jon.
Yeah.
Best
I mean,
mix ever.
The whole point of like these shows, as we know, educational. You're just trying to get everything across, and I like the fact that they go out of their way to show the diversity. And I mean, Lamb Chops did it too. They just did it differently because the whole point was like Charlie Horse, Lamb Chop, and Hush Puppy. They're all treated equally, but they're different.
Yeah.
And the reason I like Puzzle Place is just because they were doing it with like more relative to us.
Yeah.
Like
These
there's
kids
a
come
black
to
kid.
These kids come to this place to hang out and they're all chilling.
I don't have to see myself in the horse that wears a backwards cap. You know what I'm saying?
with a Zubaz.
I saw myself in the Hush Puppy. Don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I saw that. I mean,
No.
the hip.
That horse was a surfer. That didn't represent me at all.
Nah, he was snarky.
Not
He
with
had
them pants.
tude. He
Yeah.
had tude.
Ain't no black people wearing them pants.
Zubaz.
Y'all need to stop.
So we're gonna just jump over
Puzzle
right
Place
now.
had like 3 black kids though.
Oh, did they? I mean,
Well,
there's
what?
that original
Puzzle
cast,
Place had like 3 black.
No, it was just one.
Really?
It was just a dude.
but there's other kids that show up.
The other kids I think show up,
yes.
but I think the main cast
Yeah,
is just
there's
one.
just the one kid. But there's like one Asian kid, one native or Latino looking kid.
He was native.
He's native.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
so.
yeah,
Was this
Asian girl,
Yeah.
white girl,
Right.
black guy,
Right.
the blonde kid,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
and then who's the other one? There's one more that I don't remember.
Did
now.
they mix them with humans too that were also kids?
No.
No.
There was the Peace Police, but they never really they understood English, but they didn't speak English. And then you had the cat and the dog that were there.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, those education.
Like looking it up, I was like singing the song in my head. I'm like, I can't believe I remember this.
What was the song? Let's all go to
Puzzle Place, the Puzzle Place. We're going to the Puzzle Place where Sizzle and Nuzzle are double treat, and the Peace Police are on the beat.
Right.
The
Yes.
Puzzle Place.
Okay. I do.
And then someone's heart in the back.
I get it.
The Puzzle Place, like right in the back.
Because everything had to have soul back then.
Yeah,
too.
and if
That
you
was
got
the other
and
thing.
if you're a kid, you got the key. Let's get going to the Puzzle Place. We're going to the Puzzle Place. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the last one was like a Latina girl.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it. He's the Native
True.
American.
Now I remember the white girl. She was so semi-racist. That girl was so stupid as shit. Oh man, I hated that girl.
She just didn't understand the world, man.
Yeah, of course not.
That's so bad. That just made her the girl that just didn't know anything.
Yeah, the total-
Nothing. Didn't know anything
She's-
about anybody. I was
She's
like,
the
oh,
Phoebe
man.
of the friends.
Oh man.
I don't know nothing.
So yeah, we're gonna be jumping into our next segment, View the Right Thing. Right now, if you guys are tuned in on our live stream, thank you so much for tuning into the show.
Thank you.
We do this every week at the beginning of the show for the DTD and usually the intro, and then we ask everyone to jump over to franklinarmstrong.com/live where we do the show live. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast on Friday or on the YouTube on Monday, you can always go over to facebook.com/franklinarmstrong. DOTCOM, and you can check out this exact video that you just heard. So yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning into the live stream, and now we're going to continue with our View the Right Thing.
Gang gang.
Skinny, you were saying you don't have anything.
I'm gonna go on. I do.
Oh, you do. You do have something to discuss?
It's a slight thing because Wendell can jump in. It's how within my first week of working at Cinesite, at my job currently that I love dearly. Shouts to you, Billy.
Who's Bowles? I bumped into him. Sorry, go ahead. Shout out to Billy.
He bowls heavy. Heavy bowler. So Wendell, the new Blade Runner just come out or is coming out, and Wendell's like, "Oh, I have the original on Blu-ray. Can lend it to you." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And not immediately, but like when I got home and I looked at it, I was like, "I ain't watching it." and it's not like no diss to Wendell. But it's like I've heard so much about Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And I've had so many opportunities to watch it, download it. Like if I really want to watch a movie, I'm gonna go get it.
Yeah.
I had it given to me. I asked for it. And I just sat there looking at it like, this is a really cool cover. I ain't gonna watch this movie.
That's terrible.
And it's not my reasoning is that it's not that it's,
because you haven't seen it, right?
No, I haven't seen it. It's not that it's old.
And you've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Okay.
I just don't particularly care for Harrison Ford.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair.
Like
he's a Compassion Club member.
But I also kind of realized that when I got this. I was thinking like maybe anything else of Harrison Ford that he's in that I really, really, really care about. And then I go back, I'm like, I don't really love Star Wars, and the person I love the least is going to be Han Solo.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's Indiana Jones. Like
really?
Really. So I was like, yeah.
I like scenes from the Indiana Jones movies, but I don't
I like the scene
when
he shot dude with the whip thing. And he's just
yeah.
I thought that was cool.
I honestly need to rewatch all of them. I remember watching them as a kid, but like maybe at 3. And then seeing people spoof the crap out of those movies.
At 3?
I think 3 or 4. I was pretty young when I saw them.
Way too young to be watching that shit.
But I'm just saying, like, I remember seeing them.
Nazis and guns and people being assaulted.
I remember seeing that.
Gotta know about Nazis, man.
But you know what?
Never too young to know about Nazis.
I gotta say, that is very much an 80s thing on our part. Because
I remember I was like, I remember watching the RoboCop cartoon show.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a RoboCop movie? I'm going to grab that and watch it.
Yeah, but that's how that was. Our parents were just loose like that.
I know.
It was great.
I watched Ski School.
Well, I don't know what that is.
Ski School is this rated G movie.
Quote
unquote. Rated G. That is about a ski school at like, let's say like a Mont Tremblant.
Right.
But the whole movie is just nudity.
What?
And I remember watching it the first time because it was rated G.
That's rated G from the 80s.
Yeah.
That was super nude.
The amount of topless women in this movie, and I just remember thinking, I don't understand. Like, because I was old enough to understand that nudity was not supposed to be for kids.
Yeah.
Like, not in some shameful way, but just like, I don't think I'm supposed to be seeing this. So I watched the movie because it was just like, because
it was there. It was on.
I watched like Police Academy.
I already wasted my my movie for the weekend, so I gotta watch it. Gotta finish it.
It was in the vein of like all those like Police Academy and all those 80s movies that were just kind of ridiculous slapstick.
Yeah.
So I just watched it because I was just like, okay, you know when you were just a kid and there's just something on TV.
You remember when you seen boobs for the first time on TV and you start looking around like that's not supposed to happen?
Yeah, you're just like, I don't think I'm supposed to see these.
And then you like change the channel and go back to make sure like something didn't happen. Like you didn't
I remember I was like 5 and it was like a friend of mine.
Damn, you're young when you saw this shit.
And a friend of it was 5 and it was a friend of mine's older brother's like kind of birthday party thing, so I was invited to it and we're watching Terminator 2.
Oh man!
And we're all like, "Yeah, Terminator," because we got the toys and stuff. Terminator 2, sweet.
Again,
and then we watched.
Not for kids.
And then we watched. What was it again? Die Hard 2.
Oh no!
Die Hard 2. And then at the part where the guy.
You were 5?
And then we got to the part.
Who was watching this?
Then we got to the part where the guy.
When I was 4.
We got to the part where the guy got stabs in the eye with the icicle. And we're like, okay, that's enough. That's too much.
I mean,
we were actually like, whoa. Like another person gets killed like that in T2, but we're like, okay, cool, that's fine. And then guy gets stabbed with an icicle. We're like, oh no, that's intense. I guess that's too much.
I guess because we were kids, when you watch it in T2, because it was like liquid robots,
you had the toy in your hand.
Yeah, it was like okay,
whatevs.
But when you see like all these other movies and people getting popped in the face,
no, this is a real movie. Now all of a sudden it's a real movie.
Yeah, Die Hard's like an action set in like what's supposed to be the real world.
Yeah,
it's not like time traveling robots. It's like this could happen in L.A. Wait, what? People can get popped in the eye with the icicle, and like I ain't down with that.
I think he was in the East Coast on that one.
whatever. I'm just saying,
whatever.
it's still the that's even more close to home because we on the East Coast right now.
We got snow. We know what that's about.
We see those icicles falling from buildings.
I can get it in the eye.
You guys know. So all of that to say, after that Indiana Jones took you guys,
I know,
I don't know where
tangents on tangents.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, I just didn't feel like needing to watch Blade Runner. And then for you to reiterate, that shit's wild long. I was like,
yeah, man. Okay, so my thing with Blade Runner is I like the movie, but the first time I watched it, I just watched I think a DVD copy.
Okay, but let me break it down
which cut?
Dummy style.
That's the thing. I'm sure the official release theatrical.
Yeah, it's the director's cut you need to watch.
It's about a cyborg going around investigating deaths of other cyborgs only to find out that he himself is a cyborg.
They're not cyborgs.
Well,
I mean,
androids.
Cyborgs
implies that you are part human and you replaced parts of yourself.
Brian, you got what I was saying.
I know what you're saying, but come on, I'm gonna be nerdy about it.
He just fixed his glasses, ladies and gentlemen.
And the whole point is that you don't know.
Not watching this movie.
You don't know.
I got it 3/4 right, and you're like,
you don't know, but you don't know if he is one or not. That's the whole thing.
I know.
No, you don't.
No,
you said he's a cyborg. Find another cyborgs.
I'm saying I meant
you described.
You shut up, boy. Let me finish.
You left.
I'm saying he was a android, right? Investigating the deaths of the androids, only to find out at the end that he himself is an android. I didn't say he knew from
He's
jump.
not investigating deaths. He's killing them.
He is killing them.
He's killing them.
Okay.
Like he's putting them out of commission.
Still don't care.
Yeah,
it's roughly that.
The whole thing is that it's a film noir set in the future.
Yeah,
never been done before. Groundbreaking. 80s anime is just literally that over and over and over and over and over and over again, but doing their own little take on it and doing their own craziness with it. And
Harrison Ford.
What's the guy that plays the last android? The guy that's like leading all the replicants. I forgot. Anywho, one of the guys at the end.
Xander Kane.
No. the guy that plays Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh man.
That dude's in it. Rucker Howard. There we go. Okay. See, I got there on my own without the internet. But Rucker Howard plays a really smart replicant, and he has this amazing monologue at the end and stuff like that. And it comes a full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, if you don't,
you're probably more entertaining than
but I mean, if you didn't, if you didn't care, why didn't I get back my Blu-ray sooner?
You know.
Oh, dude, hold on. That's just how people are.
Wait, hold on. And also on top of that, he's like, this seems mad boring. I don't care. But week after week after week, he's telling us how crap Arrow is.
Yeah.
That's
Flash
different.
is.
Yeah.
He's watching and he's just hating on him.
I'm attached for them, and they came out this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not gonna go back and watch them that came out in 1983.
Yeah, it's not the start. No, because that's the thing. First of all, him still having the Blu-ray, dude. I have a DVD that a friend lent me.
You're a horrible person.
I have a DVD. She lent me this DVD.
You're not even their friend anymore. I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't see her.
You're the worst.
She
you
lent
have
me
a free DVD.
Stop. Whoa, let's rewind here. She was convinced, same as you really need to see this movie, Brian. I was like, okay, lend me the movie because I ain't going to rent it myself. She's like, okay, lends me the DVD, and then her and I just lost touch. What, I'm supposed to go out of my way to make sure homegirl gets her DVD back when I didn't want the damn thing in the first place? This isn't on me.
I'm holding up my hand.
Yeah.
So you're saying you didn't want it in the first place?
No.
I tried.
So why'd you say yes?
I tried.
Because she
couldn't
relentless.
take no for
relentless. You know when people are just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing.
So why don't you just pull a Superman? Let that stuff bounce off your chest and hit the floor.
Because it was easier to
so why don't you catch my DVD? I don't catch things.
It was easier.
That's not how this works.
Easier to just take the DVD and go cool. And then just not watch the DVD.
Snatch a DVD.
Yo, I'll donate it and donate the funds to some...
Wow.
If you feel like I'm teething this $3 DVD from this girl that... She cared so little when I told her I'm probably not going to watch this when she handed it to me. Why did she still want to give it to someone who said, I'm probably not going to watch this, by the way?
Okay.
Oh, yo, but watch it. I'm going to take it, but I'm not promising you anything.
Okay, but watch it.
Also, she cares about this movie so much. How come she didn't come after me? I'm the villain because I said, cool, maybe. I'm the bad guy.
You didn't just throw it back
I'm
at
the
her?
thief.
Well, remember, I just bugged this dude over here for my movie back.
Exactly. Back. But you actually want your movie back.
Yeah, and I watched. I bought it. I watched it. I was like, oh, good. I'm ready for the new movie coming out. I'm up to speed.
Oh, did you buy it just because you're gonna watch the new movie?
And I wanted to see the director's cut because I remember seeing another version of it. I don't remember which one. It's just like watching Apocalypse Now.
Yeah,
and you don't know which cut of it is.
I mean, like I said, I've seen Blade Runner twice. I saw it that first time. I'm pretty sure on just DVD director's cut, the theatrical cut,
right?
And then I saw it at Cinema du Parc screening, and I don't remember what cut that was, but I just remember it being long and be kind of falling in and out because it's a dark theater. And
it's film noir.
And it's a film noir.
I feel like a lot of people find film noir very boring, and I don't blame them.
I don't find them boring. But I don't the concentration when you're tired and it's a dark theater and the whole screen is always dark with.
So you just decide to watch a movie in a hard mode.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's
in hard mode.
Sleep deprived. Just all right. Here we go. Time to put this heady movie on.
I definitely want to see Blade Runner 2049 because it does look interesting.
It's good, but again, I feel like you're probably going to suffer the same. Like, oh, this is.
The thing is, though,
long and pandering, and not pandering, but like taking a while. But
one of the things, though, a buddy of mine watched it and hadn't seen the original, and he said he loved it. And I told him, wait, I was like, why didn't you watch the original? It's just like, a lot of people say you got to watch stuff in chronological order. I'm just like, yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good thing. It's just like, I just watch movies, and if I haven't seen the first one, I consider that shit a prequel. And I'm like, you know what? Can't even be mad at that logic because they're out here making prequels to everything anyways. Right. It's not like he's wrong. Han Solo is going to be a prequel to all the stuff that Han Solo does.
It's made with everything that's new now.
No, I know. Technology-wise, it's not going to look the same, but he's just saying the story, I don't need to absorb that story in chronological order. I can watch Blade Runner 2049 and then watch the other one and just be like, this is just a prequel.
Wait, so what year was Blade Runner set in?
The first one? I don't...
It's 2000 or something.
Yeah, it's like 50 years later or something.
So then
right?
this one's 2049, and then like Blade Runner OG was like 2000 and something.
Yeah.
So like how like in the future, like in the 80s, you're like, oh, 2000's the future. Who knows what's gonna happen there? Flying cars and stuff.
Yeah.
And the world's gone to crap.
That's another one. Total Recall. Oh, that's another one.
The original Total Recall?
The original Total Recall?
Because the remake was horrible.
You know why
Total Recall is so good?
OG Total Recall is good. You know why I can't get through it? Because I woke up one night. You got
scared?
You know when you wake up and you're not supposed to? It's the same thing with the boobs. I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning. My mom's sleeping on the couch. I'm sleeping on the opposite end. We just finished falling asleep to a movie. And I wake up at the worst scene of everything.
Oh, God.
Why do I have to wake up when dude's on Marge when his eyes popping out? Never watch that movie.
So if I said like, yo, you need to watch The Godfather, you're just gonna be like, nah, I'm good.
I legit turned it on as dude's like, hopping around on Mars slides.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm like, oh, what's going on? I'm like, hold on.
So my favorite thing.
Wait. Then you hear my dad on the floor. He's like, yes. My dad, like his eye popped with that laugh.
Oh boy.
But I was gonna say like, so if I said like, hey, here's Godfather. You should be like, nah, I'm good.
Been seeing Godfather. Come on now.
Okay, I'm just asking.
That's Godfather.
I'm just asking.
I
mean, that reference for the older movie. And he's like,
nah, but like, there's some movies that you see. No, I know. Like, there's some movies that like I've seen Casablanca, and I saw Casablanca the first time. Like my parents owned a copy, and I actually sat down and said,
"Oh, okay."
Because you hear people talk about Casablanca when we were kids.
You don't have to like really hear people talk about it. You just watch shows, and they constantly reference it.
It was part of the zeitgeist when we were kids. The 80s, it was still a big part.
It's Americana.
Yeah, because I don't feel they talk about Casablanca now. I don't hear them reference it. But when I was a kid, I just remember hearing Casablanca.
Yeah.
Humphrey Bogart. Here's looking at you, kid. Every day of my life. So
Bugs Bunny killed that shit.
I know, right? So anyway, I watched it, and then I was just like, okay, cool, let's just... and after that, I watched... what was the other one that I watched that I was just like... I can't remember now.
Miracle or the other one?
I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. But, like, and then I had to rewatch a lot of these movies in my film studies classes, and I just remember thinking, like... I kind of wish I hadn't watched these movies, because... this dark classroom and me already knowing what's going to happen is not keeping me alert. So there's a lot of times in those classes where I just dozed off. And it made it a little bit hard because it's not like you remember the movie, but you don't remember the movie. Yeah. So then when we're having the class conversation, it was hard for me to keep. Yeah, exactly.
You're snitching on yourself. Yeah. That part where the Superman comes in, that was really good.
And then when you got to write the paper and you're just like, okay, now I should actually rewatch this movie.
My teacher made me write up. you ever have Clea? Did you ever have Clea? Nodar?
Yes, I love her. She loved me.
Clea. Shouts to Clea. Clea was awesome, right?
Yeah, dope teacher.
Clea had us watch. Was it her that had us watch Some Like It Hot? No, that was another teacher. I had to watch The Bicycle with Clea.
Okay,
that's a great film. But then I had to write a paper on Some Like It Hot. That's one of those like same vein movies like, in that era where you're just like, why? The same way.
One of my favorite things back in those days, anytime I had to write a paper in those film classes and I got to pick the subject myself, always wrote on a Spike Lee movie because I was just like, I'm black. You can't tell me how I need to feel about this story.
In the intro to English class I did in Dawson, I remember we did Bamboozled.
Oh yeah,
and the way we did it was like we're doing a section of poetry. So we started with hip hop and we worked our way backwards. So
cool.
Hip hop, Last Poets, etc., on Sylvia Plath, blah blah blah, continuing. And so I was the only black guy in that class. So when the main character starts talking about the OJ trial, like get in touch with your inner angry white guy, and they're like, oh, when OJ puts on the gloves and doesn't fit, and I just started laughing. Me and the teacher are dying. Everyone's like, I don't get it, and I'm just like,
Well, that's and it's funny enough. You were at Dawson. Can you imagine what it was like for us at Abbott? I was the only black guy in 90% of those classes.
Oh yeah. I got away with some shit. Yeah. Oh man, I got away with some stuff.
Oh man. Okay,
because
we should move on.
We should.
Oops. JawzD, you want to talk about ESPN 30 for 30, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Yes. So this is a really good documentary about the ups and downs of one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
One of the greatest.
Who just had a health scare.
Yeah, he did, and they kind of talk about that a little bit in there.
Okay, they did that recently.
Yeah, and then he came back and stuff. I think it came out maybe ending of last year, December of last year.
Okay.
So I finally got a chance to watch it, and it's really good. Ric Flair does not mince words. He does not, everything's already happened to him. Yeah. So he's, I'm sure he's regretful, but he's going to tell you honestly how he felt at that moment in that time. And the guy's, he's what, in his 80s, I think?
Is he that old?
Really?
Maybe?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like late 70s. Late 70s.
Keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
But I remember one of the jokes Proto Man gave me was that he was watching wrestling. His uncle came in and he's like, oh, Ric Flair's on? I remember when I was a kid.
Oh my God.
So this guy has a long career.
He's 70.
Yeah.
He's been wrestling. NWA, WCW,
Yeah. So it's him, when he started, how he started. He was in a plane crash.
Oh shit!
His vertebrae were like fused together and stuff, and then he just took him a long time to come back to normal.
I feel like wrestling is one of those things you don't do when your vertebrae gets fused together.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, because remember he's doing this back in the day, like in the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And, like starting off that, and so
when the medical profession wasn't as
there was a dude like that happened to another wrestler, and he had to no-sell a plane crash. He was in a plane crash. Happened, went to the hospital, came back, and he did the show the same, like Mr. Wrestling came, like I think that was his character's name. What? And he did the show, and he went back into the hospital, like, oh my God, because he had to he was in a plane crash, but who's Mr. Wrestling? Oh, I can't let people know. Like back in the day, you used to like protect the business that hard, because remember there was no internet. People aren't talking to each other about, oh, this is fake, that's fake, this is how they do this is how they do that.
Wait, so people couldn't know who the actual person.
That's how people how the wrestlers took it that seriously. Their job, their business.
So if he didn't show up, but then they also found out the same dude was admitted to a hospital that same day, then you're like, oh, 2 and 2 together, that's who Mr. Wrestling is.
Oh, I get that. Exactly. But I mean, that to me,
Batman shit.
Yeah, that's some. Yeah, it really is.
That's how they protect it, because that's your business, right? And it's word of mouth. Do
you feel? And this is unfortunately off topic again, but do you feel that the internet ruined kayfabe?
Yes, kayfabe was ruined before. Kayfabe was ruined
more, but it was ruined before that.
Yeah, they ruined it themselves.
It was before that. It was like when you had the clique with Shawn Michaels, and all those guys. Diesel and all those guys. Yeah, Kevin Nash.
When they hugged in the ring in '97,
that's when it started,
and that's exactly when kayfabe was like shattered.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I talk to people at work who are into wrestling, and we've had the conversation. Like, it's not that I have anything against wrestling. I just don't like the way they structure the stories. But I feel like I'm like that now because the internet has. everything's readily available.
Yeah.
Like when they have these crazy stories like Kurt Angle's son, but it's not
it's so
Kurt
funny.
Angle's son.
It's so silly.
And you all I had to do was Google the guy, and it's just like,
this guy,
not his son.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
but it's silly.
I know,
it's silly.
but it just makes it weird because I'm just like, so why don't you?
Well, but I mean,
why don't we just say we're actors? Because it's like a bad.
Well, that's why they call it sports entertainment.
Okay.
That's why. That's why
Okay.
when the Nintendo came out, it was called the entertainment system. It's not called the video game system.
No, but, I get. Yeah.
But
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily compare Nintendo to wrestling. That's
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like the reason I never understood it as sports entertainment was. Like, it is a sport. They are doing this incredible acrobatic like show,
and they're putting their bodies on the line.
Yeah,
like a lot of people are like, "Oh, is it fake?" It's like, if you drop off a ladder onto the
like
hard
Foley,
concrete floor.
Nick Foley's one of those guys that like, he was a dedicated actor.
You do that, and you tell me how fake that was.
Like, you need to give that guy an award because that guy, threw himself on those nails legit and was bleeding. That's
I also feel it's like one of the last kind of stage shows, and these people are putting on a performance in front of your face and showing off crazy stunts in your face constantly. But back to Ric Flair. So him, how he never had like he never was serious about his marriages. Like they asked him like, so when you were married, like how long did you take it seriously? He was like, a day.
Oh.
He didn't take long to answer because again he's past all that, you know.
Skimming.
Yeah,
he's Quincy
Jones. I was gonna say exactly.
A day. I just couldn't take it. I really couldn't. Like I'm out there being this bigger than life person, Ric Flair, and I have to come back home and be normal, and I can't take it.
Yeah.
So he was, and just talking about him and his family and stuff like that.
His daughter's now in the wrestling.
Yeah. So
she's champ.
Yeah, she's cool. Female champ. Okay. She's been female champ for a good long while.
Actual daughter too, not
actual daughter. Yeah, actual daughter. And they talk about his son passing because his son passed a few years ago.
Okay,
and that kind of
was he also a wrestler?
He was getting into the business kind of thing. He was wrestling in Japan, but he had some stuff in his system, and they were trying to. And so he was trying to get into the WWE, and like Triple H was like, "Look, your son has some stuff in his system.
Yeah,
we're going to test him out." Again, soon, wink, 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 let him know.
Yeah.
And it came back again, and he's like, yo, you got to talk to your son. He's like, no, you must have. It's like, he's like, he'll lie to you. Like, he didn't want to believe in that, you know? And then his son sadly, like.
Oh, indeed?
Yeah. Sad to say. So, like, when you're watching that in the doc, like, I already knew about it, but I didn't know the details of it. And, like, seeing his regret about that, and he's crying about it.
That must have been hard, boy.
And oh, man. And so, what ends up happening is that...
I mean, he can't blame himself. It's not his fault that his son was...
but his son was kind of, like, living like him.
Oh, he's trying to emulate him.
And he treated his son like one of the boys instead of his son. So he kind of has that bit of... It feels like... You kind of feel like he has that kind of guilt.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I could see that.
Oh, you're talking about Reed Flair. I thought you were talking about David Flair.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Reed.
It was a younger one. It was like this one.
Yeah,
I think
Reed. I don't know nothing about
this
Reed.
one. This one showed up in WCW and stuff, and like they used them in some storylines and stuff like that. And like he was taken to it and stuff. Like he was a little kid too, like into it. So.
Yes.
But,
okay.
Yeah,
I think I remember seeing this.
And then he got a little bit older, and then and he was in Japan and stuff like that. And then because of his passing, that's when that daughter started to starting to wrestle and started taking his dream and taking it for herself, kind of thing. Yeah, the mantle and going for it.
Yeah, because now the Flair legacy, which Reed was possibly the heir apparent, let's say, was now unfortunately gone. So the daughter felt she needed to step it up, which is still beautiful because she's doing it, which is cool. So.
And they even talk about when Flair had no money and he kept he retired, but then he kept wrestling and TNA and stuff like that. So I thought it was really interesting too. So they don't shy from the ugly at all.
So it's worth watching.
It's definitely worth watching. He's funny. He's got some good stories, and he even breaks a psychiatrist.
Oh god.
The psychiatrist like, so tell me how much you drink. 10 beers a day and 8 cocktails, like vodka and stuff. Wait, what? He's like, yeah. And he's like, well, how often do you do this? Every day? And he's like, what do you mean every day? It's like, I drank on the way here 10 beers, got to the hotel, because remember, this is back in the day when you do it, and then got to the hotel, drank some more, and now I'm here.
And then wrestled.
And then wrestled, So
That's like
living hard.
Yeah, that's like when people talk about like
hard.
Babe Ruth, and they're just like, yeah, all these baseball players back in those days, those were real athletes. Because if you smoked cigars and then still went up to bat and ran bases all for 9 innings, you were legit. Like, you were a legit athlete.
It's not a whole team to go through to back through, so you're good.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, the idea is just, like, if you're going to be in a sport and being athletic, but
and taking substances that hinder you.
Yeah.
Who's the dude who played that baseball game on, like, Quaaludes?
Oh, I don't know.
That was a documentary on Netflix.
Oh, it was a black dude, right?
Yes.
Oh, I remember that.
He played
one.
that shit loud on Quaaludes and, like, didn't do bad.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so people should definitely check it out, guys. Once again, that's ESPN 30 for 30, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, recommended by JawzD. And then the next thing is, you know what? I'm going to do my thing, and then we'll come back to your second thing. So super quick, Justice League number 41. I know I said I wasn't going to do comic books as much on this show since we do comic books on That's Canon now. But I did want to talk about this one specifically because Black Panther writer Christopher Priest created a new character for DC named Red Lion.
No, you can't. What? No. God damn it.
You mean like Red Rat?
So Christopher Priest, who wrote the version of T'Challa and the Black Panther that somewhat inspired the movie.
Right.
Because he created Everett Ross. He created the Dora Milaje. I think he created the Zirari, which are the wild dogs, the secret, like they're like secret spies force. So he created all of that stuff, which is all the stuff that Black Panther covers, and but it's just that they took that and then they kind of did Ta-Nehisi Coates' version of it,
right?
So, I mean, some people, if you look it up, so Justice League 41, the character Red Lion has been around for a little bit. He's been introduced in Deathstroke's storyline. The suit that he wears is is Deathstroke's old suit, because Deathstroke has a new suit that makes him almost invincible.
Okay.
And the suit, because you find out that the guy that created the suit for Deathstroke, this Icon suit, which was like a prototype that made you a superhero.
Like Icon suit.
Like Icon?
Not like Icon. This was IKON, and it's like some inventor. And there's a panel where the inventor is wearing his latest version of the Icon suit, where he's flying and doing all this stuff. He's essentially a superhero because the suit gives you powers.
Oh, but like hardware?
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, hardware suits was over the top big.
I'm being very silly right now.
But
just dropping milestone characters.
This version of the suit that he has is the first iteration of this Icon suit, which was like a really bad prototype that was like dangerous or something. But for some reason, Slade put it on. Anyways,
he's crazy.
Yeah, he left his old suit behind. Homeboy found the suit. And put it on and changed it, and he looks like Kraven the Hunter.
Can you show me this guy right now?
So he looks like Kraven the Hunter and a red version of Black Panther.
Oh, what kind of bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's Black Panther with a gun.
He's Black Panther with a gun, and Kraven's like mane around his
jacket
neck.
mane thing.
Yeah. So yeah,
you didn't try, dude. You didn't try.
Yeah. So after getting Deathstroke to change into the Icon suit, Bland gains the possession of the Prometheum suit. So that's the thing. Matthew Bland is, and the things that's really messed up. The character is a dictator, not a president of a fictional African nation, and people are pretty upset because they're just like, so you evil. Worked on Black. Yeah, he is. He's a villain. Like the cover of issue 41 that people are really upset about is him choking out Cyborg.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, man.
I don't really know what DC's doing.
It's Uncle Tom, Christopher Priest. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's it. A lot of people are calling out Christopher Priest for this because they're just like, we understand, because Priest has a long history. And there's an article about him recently where he talks about his history in comic books. And I get it. He didn't have the best experience in the past as a comic book writer. He started out in an era where he was legit the only black guy working in the Marvel office. So we owe him a lot because he went through the things that made it that, like, now, Yona Harvey and Roxanne Gay can write these characters because someone like him did it 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
But at the same time, don't just ride on your laurels and switch over to DC and start doing whack-ass characters. Because
Red Lion, bro.
Red Lion is a really weird character, and it almost feels like you're pissed about Black Panther, so you're making fun of him. And
why would he be pissed about Black Panther?
That's it. I don't know.
They didn't take his version for the movie?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why he'd be pissed. But
not giving me credit for it.
Yeah, because it's just weird. Like, if you worked on Black Panther and you have a legacy, and the legacy is getting world recognition right now, why would you turn around and make...
feel that way.
I know,
Some
it's
people are
weird
like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not Christopher Priest. I'm not in his head.
I'm
just saying it looks weird to me. So if you guys are interested, I would highly recommend you read the Deathstroke run because you'll.
Maybe he threw this story out in the garbage and someone fished it out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he wrote it. Put his name on it.
Put his name on it. But yeah, if you guys are interested, read the Deathstroke run, the Deathstroke Rebirth, because it covers. It's like you have to read the one shot and then you start to read the issues, and then Red Line it gets introduced there because of a whole story arc that they had together and the icon suit stuff, and then now Red Line is connecting with the Justice League. So issue 41, like I said, he is choking out Cyborg. Of course, the two black characters have to be fighting, while the rest of them are just in the background, like you know how they do in when they have the whole ensemble cast. Yeah, that bullshit where they're just like, oh my. First of all, Superman, you have laser vision. Yep. This dude is choking out your homeboy. Pop him with the laser vision.
Quick.
Why are we all just standing around in the circle?
I believe Green Lantern has something like
I killed Zod and people didn't like that, so I'm just hanging back.
Yeah, true.
Hanging back.
So that was my little 2 seconds on comic books. So you know,
Batman won't let me do it.
Yeah.
You'll kill me.
True. That's a whole long other story. But yeah. Anyways, so
this one might be long too.
People check it out. So we're gonna go into a little bit of a conversation. This is a View the Right Thing / discussion. This one is, if you guys have had the chance to see, Little Dicky is this hip hop artist who was on the is it XXL that does the Freshman?
He was on the Freshman.
He was on the Freshman 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So Little Dicky is a rapper that I think
he's a Weird Al rapper. He's Weird Al of rap.
I wouldn't say he's hardcore. Like I wouldn't say he's nerdcore.
No,
like, he's like touching on it a little bit.
That's why, because when
he straddles the line between the two.
Because what Skinny's saying is how most people reference him, and he references that in the video.
Yeah, exactly. Hard.
But I think that he sees himself as a better rapper than that.
He is a great rapper.
And that's the thing. He is a very good rapper. Mm-hmm. So he did this video called Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Well, the song. I should say he did a song called Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
The music video is, and the song is done with Chris Brown. He's featured on the track. And the music video to the song shows the story of Little Dicky and Chris Brown both wishing they could have simpler. Oh no. Well, Little Dicky's wishing for a better life, and Chris Brown's wishing for a simpler life.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's magical Asian.
It's basically the same thing as Freaky Friday.
Yeah,
straight up.
So he swaps them, and then the song is about, from the perspective of Chris Brown, who has Little Dicky in his body, rapping about being I'm Chris Brown, and vice versa. And JawzD, your thoughts, because you were the one that brought it to the table.
Yeah, and I knew this was going to be a discussion.
Come to the table.
I thought it was a very funny song, very funny music video.
Yeah,
and I just really, really dug it. I just couldn't stop laughing and replaying it over and over. Just cutting to the main part, like of the song.
Yeah, because it's long.
Just cutting out the beginning. And I like the little flourishes they do in the video. One of the things I thought was funny was the guy that swaps their body. He's appearing throughout the whole video.
He's like dressed like a monk. He's in the street doing something.
He's in the store where he's buying a new jumpsuit.
Yes,
and everything like that. So I thought that was pretty clever. Like just dropping him here. I thought it was really funny that so Little Dicky is in Chris Brown's body and he's just going through all the things. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to do this. Wait a minute. I have a kid.
Yeah.
And you see the little girl run by, and I'm like,
I didn't even know Chris Brown had a kid.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
I mean, I don't pay attention to the celebrities' lives all that much. I do more so than most people, but not enough that I care about the kids.
When my job wasn't taxing before,
I
was able to pay attention.
Yeah.
And then when you cut to Little Dicky, he's like hiding from people, and he's like, wait a minute, no one knows who I am. Yeah. People are saying hi to me. Oh, it's so nice just to be. Wait a minute, how's my daughter doing?
Yeah.
Is she in school? Oh my goodness. Who's in my body? Little Dicky's like this.
Yeah.
The headline says Chris Brown's running around town saying that I'm Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really funny. The part I died, and I feel like you're gonna have a lot of contention about that part, is where Little Dicky realizes that he can say the N-word.
Yeah.
And then it's just him saying it in various different ways.
Yeah.
And using it in different ways, but like giving props to people. Like giving props to a service people.
Yeah. So that's where the song breaks down for Doc. Okay?
Very early in the song. That's like the first verse.
Yeah. So my thing with it is there's been this conversation about, you know, some white people really want to drop N-bombs, and not because they're racist, but just because they want to be able to
say it. It's taboo.
Because they don't like not being able to do something.
Yeah, it's just like, you're not allowed to say niggas, so you got to be able to say niggas. And it's just like, and I mean...
whatever, dog.
Because you can see that comes with the privilege of, like, that the word doesn't mean anything to you because you aren't being called a nigga.
Yeah.
And the fact that little Dicky, who I think is a good rapper,
as Chris Brown,
doesn't matter. Because do you think when he wrote the song that Chris Brown and him were in the room together?
I would assume so, because there's some lines where Chris Brown has to say, wait a minute, my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, the fact they bring that up, the fact that in the video they bring up that he has a gun hiding in his house, not in a safe. Like, he's poking fun at Chris Brown in this video, and Chris Brown has to sign off on that.
So for me, I'm guessing this was written together.
Yeah, for sure.
I really would like to know who thought, hey, we should really put on the fact that now I can say niggas. Because that, to me, is just like...
Because
was it Chris Brown who's just like, you know what would be funny? Or was it Lil Dicky who's just like, I can finally say this somehow. I finally have permission to somehow get to say niggas.
The one thing I like about it in the video is that he thinks about it, and then he's like he comes to that realization. He's doing everything else, and he's like, wait a minute. And he's super like,
and
because when he starts off on it, he's kind of like testing it out.
And that is the weirdest white privilege I've ever seen represented in my life. Because the fact that one of the first thoughts that this white boy has in a black person's body
is to FaceTime Kanye.
Not just that was the first. I'm talking about, because remember,
that was first.
Sure. Yes. But I'm saying, you said it yourself. Like, the first verse, he's already joking about how he can finally say niggas. And that, to me, seems weird. That's what I find weird about it.
You didn't find it weird that he gets to say that I'm light-skinned black?
No, I mean... Dude, I think the whole song's weird. I'm just saying...
Or you just tuned off like, niggas, that's it?
No.
I'm going to find it weird that all the white kids who are going to be singing this song saying, I'm singing Little Dicky's voice, going around saying nigga, 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 nigga.
That, yeah, it's that thing
no.
It's that thing about representation. Like, it's super important, right? We all been talking about it lately. What you put out into the world is the representation. So hopefully there are kids out there who are smart enough to get that, I'm first of all, these kids probably already don't know the history of the words. So that's another thing. Someone should really be teaching them the history of these words. Little Dicky's the type of rapper who appeals to like a young and an older demographic. So you probably have younger fans who are going to want to emulate the type of things you do. And emulate...
Not going to. Always do.
Sure. So they always emulate the types of things that you do as an artist. And what you did in the song is created an environment where, as a white man inside a black body, took joy in the fact that you could finally say niggas. That's what I'm talking about. Because that's what you were putting out on the screen. And there's going to be all these other, like, there's going to be kids, white, black, brown, purple, who cares? But they're going to have that kind of moment of just like, oh... cool. And that to me seems weird. That's what I was saying.
But I mean, I know that I was listening to Drink Champs and they were talking about when they went to other places in the world.
Aren't those the guys that I said always just trying to say
No. The Champs is the Neil Brennan podcast.
Yeah.
Drink Champs with Noriega and DJ
Yes,
EFN.
okay, sorry. Okay.
So they had gone to somewhere in South America.
Yeah.
And they were talking to some fans there, and the fans were just talking to each other and using the N-word like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, you can't use that. And it's like, but we just only listen to your songs.
Yeah.
And we don't have, like, people here are using it because we're hearing your songs and you're putting that out there.
Yeah.
And so we don't, like, it's only now that you're telling us we're not allowed to use it is that, we didn't know we were even doing anything wrong in the first place.
Where are they going that people didn't know? That's my question. Where are they going in the world that they didn't know the history of the word?
Well, if you go to South America, negro and nigga is black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're I mean, like, I can't remember where particularly, but I'm just saying, like,
but they were somewhere where culturally that word didn't mean the same thing.
Didn't mean anything.
Okay. I mean, that to me comes, and yeah, you're right.
And also, like,
I mean, that's why some rappers make the argument that we shouldn't be using that word in hip hop, and because it normalizes the word, and we're taking it back. But did you take it back because they don't know what it means? And someone who knows what it means, who comes from the States and comes to this country, and here's a bunch of kids just dropping nigga, isn't going to feel comfortable.
Right.
So you're now creating pockets that have this.
Remember, that's actual black rappers and stuff like that having, like, because hip hop is getting older, we're actually asking these questions and stuff. And
it's unfortunate we didn't ask those questions before.
And then I would also bring up that black TV shows, Key and Peele, Chappelle Show, comedians use it all the time. Sometimes they stop doing it. Sometimes they don't.
Are you saying that
I'm not trying to justify? But I'm saying, like,
you're making points.
I'm making points.
What if you're not making the points to make a point? What are we saying? That's what I'm saying. You're making the point. That's why I'm asking you.
To what point are you making these points?
Yeah, when you're bringing up Key and Peele, Dave Chappelle, Noriega, and black people who are using the N-word and then being emulated by white kids,
not being censored.
Yeah,
like on the Chappelle Show and Boondocks and Key and Peele, they never censored.
I know. I was saying to people when I spoke to Jordan Peele the one time I met him, that was my first question. How do you get away with saying nigga on air? And he said, 2 black guys walk to a room full of white old men, and we tell them we're going to say nigga on air, and they go okay, and then they walk out of the room because Master's not going to tell me I can't say that word.
We say nigger for all the use. You call this nigger. The reason why you can't say nigger or nigga is because you ain't never been called a nigger.
Yeah.
Say sir. Yeah. Point final. There's no argument.
So that's why, like, for me, it's not that Little Dicky, the problematic aspects of this song don't only end at Little Dicky, because Chris Brown's a whole other side of problematic. But for me, like, I like Little Dicky as a rapper. I just think Little Dicky is smarter than
to open that gate.
But maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he wanted conversations to get sparked. I don't know.
Dicky's not the guy to be trying to spark that conversation when Joyner Lucas just did it 2 months ago.
Yeah,
in a better way. I don't need Little Dicky jumping around here saying listen, we all know y'all say behind their backs anyway. Yeah. So I don't really need this Little Dicky character who I was really trying to be like, okay, you're not just in the game to kind of take what money you can get from it and then turn around and be a comedian. I was really trying not to think that. I'm actually like, he actually wants to be an artist. I thought
he was already writing for comedy stuff, and then he went.
I don't know. I heard he had a job, and then he just started rapping because he thought he'd be good at rapping, and he wanted to be a comedian, so it would be a good way for him to get into the entertainment. Either way. This is not the lane. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he could have.
Because you're saying the same thing I used to say about Childish Gambino. When Childish started out and he was rapping,
you didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it. I told people, I'm like, I don't think he's actually a rapper. I just think it's another part of his shtick. Like, Donald Glover likes to be funny. The way of being funny is being this over-the-top hip-hop character who talks about blowjobs from Asian girls and having to hide a screwdriver under his pillow to protect himself in the ghetto.
Really wasn't that great.
Yeah, because when he started out, the dichotomy of, like, but then at the same time, Nas also had Uchiwali, but then talks about black queens and kings. So
Uchiwali was years after.
No, I know, but it's on, like, everyone's on both sides of the when it comes to the coin. So Little Dicky, I don't have anything against Little Dicky, and for all I know, this song is not that deep.
Yeah,
we see it that deep. Well, I mean, we don't know. We don't.
Well, did you listen to the rest of the song?
I watched the song because again, you know my rule of thumb: don't talk about something unless you know it.
Right.
So I watched the video, I read the lyrics, and then watched the video again, so that I could come and actually have a proper conversation. Little Dicky wrote a song with Chris Brown about them swapping bodies and found a way that he could drop niggas. That's how I felt about it.
Okay.
At the end of the day, do I feel that that's the best use of his talent? No. That's what I'm saying. I think Lil Dicky is a better rapper than that, because when it came to that XXL magazine freshman from 2 years ago, and I looked at all those guys, and half of them were mumble rappers, and Lil Dicky was up there, and I remember thinking to myself, it's a damn shame that Lil Dicky might be the best one on this cover. That in 2016, the best rapper is the comedic rapper.
Yeah.
That says a lot about hip-hop. So, and because I appreciate and respect what he was trying to do, and that song he has with Snoop, where Snoop is asking
professional
him,
rapper?
Yeah, like, are you legit about this? Because I'll put my weight behind you if you're legit. Are you legit? That's what the whole song's about.
Yeah.
And I like that Lil Dicky.
And I feel like he always gets that question over
Of
and
course.
over and over.
Like we said at the beginning of the video. Yeah.
Where the guy's like, no, he's not a real rapper. He's just a joke rapper. And then he just drives it super hard for like a minute or two.
But I respect Lil Dicky for doing that song with Snoop to make the point of like, I'm not joking though. I legit think I can do this. But then releases a song where I feel like he is just being a joker. That's my take on this.
On top of it, he releases it with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Shouts to Tyler Lemko said Lil Dicky probably went around All-Star Weekend and just asked everybody. Because the reasons come to mind of why would you get Chris Brown?
Save that money.
Is Chris Brown that broke? Is he that cheap?
No,
you just ask.
You
don't know if you're gonna get somebody unless you just ask them.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right.
But of all your picks,
yeah. I mean, when it comes to people that I would want to,
I feel like no one else would have sold it like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Brown is comedic and a joker, and
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see Jadakiss doing this.
No.
I don't see Styles P doing that.
Oh my god, I would love to see a version where he does this with Jadakiss.
Yo, man.
I
don't know if Jadakiss would do it, but one thing I would like to see is Jadakiss do some b-boy stuff.
Yeah.
He can still do some b-boy stuff.
Yeah.
Mayhem Loren even, or like Rock Marciano.
Oh my
None
god,
of them dudes are doing this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
because I know at the end of the song,
Ed Sheeran
shows up, and he's like, oh, it's not as cool as being like he's exactly what you're saying. He's like, oh man, it's not as cool as being Chris Brown. And he swaps again, and he's like, DJ Khaled.
Oh yeah, why am I yelling? yeah. And then he's a
Kendall
Jenner. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna learn the inner workings of a woman.
Yeah. I mean, again, this song makes me think that Lil Dicky is more of a joker than a serious rapper. Specifically because
can he be both?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can.
Is he allowed to be both? I mean, I feel we have this weird thing where you're not allowed.
So here's the thing. I think you can be. You're allowed to be both sides. You can be a rapper who's serious about his rap, but your style is in joke, in jest. But realize that when it comes to hip hop, you're not necessarily going to be the one winning awards.
Yeah.
Because you're always going to be going up against people who are either more recognized for their craft in the sense of what they're talking about has more weight to it.
Yeah.
So like we were talking earlier, the user hip hop movement where, that drug use and that drug scene is more popular.
Yeah.
So you as a joker rapper won't mesh up to them. And then you're also going against guys like Kendrick and J. Cole and stuff like that. And Drake. So by being this guy and the white guy, because it's the one place where you are on an uphill battle. Yeah, Eminem is recognized. Yeah,
and then killed it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but not just that.
Eminem came on that drug shit though.
Yeah.
That's what helped him too.
But Eminem, the thing about
I'm remembering the kids. That's why the South Park spoof that he did.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the thing about Eminem was Eminem is a beast. They all respect him.
Well, he started off as kind of like Slim Shady was the Joker, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
it was before that though.
Exactly.
Wait, I can't remember which one was the Joker and which one was it, because
Slim Shady is a Joker character.
Okay.
And he was funny, but before that, he was already respected because of Infinite, and he was known for being a dangerous battle rapper.
Right.
Dangerous. So.
Lil Dicky, though, is not known for being a dangerous battle rapper. And by doing songs like this, he's not going to step up compared to some of the other rappers. And that's what I'm saying. My whole point of this at the end of the day again is I like Lil Dicky, and when I saw him 2 years ago, I thought I like the fact that I'm actually shocked that the best kid in this XXL is the white Joker kid. But 2 years later, I'm disappointed because
he's still being the
white Joker
kid.
Yeah, and everyone else is like, I mean, I don't even know what happened to half those guys from 2 years ago. Panda, like
hey man, he had a song.
I know.
He had another song. He got money from some soccer club. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That was one.
So yeah, all this is. First of all, you guys let me talk a lot. So go on.
I'm here. I mean, listen. I don't mind the song.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. I have no problem with Lil Dicky. As you say, to further your point, Lil Dicky's not coming out with an Illmatic.
Yeah.
200% not coming out with an Illmatic. He can stay in his lane. This is the lane that he had. If he's gonna stay in this lane, he more or less just like stuck his shovel in right there with this video.
Yes,
like this is where I'm
because I feel someone I feel is maybe a little bit similar would be probably Ludacris in a way, because I remember he had 4 albums
in
the game, and then all of a sudden, Bill O'Reilly and Oprah said, "Oh well, you're just another this kind of thing," and then he came out with Release Therapy, and then he won a Grammy.
Yeah. I mean,
and that was 4 albums. I think that was his 5th or 6th.
Ludacris's thing is, Ludacris was a radio host who was known in the scene and knew these guys.
Yeah.
And through what he had been doing, connected with musicians and was able to adapt easily.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I wasn't expecting him to win a Grammy like that.
For every use a hoe, though, he had to throw them both. He had Southern Hospitality.
Yeah.
For every Act the Fool, he had like the other joints on that album that were like stronger than that to bring in the seriousness to level it. Versus Little Dicky is
like I don't
like Little Dicky's mixtape I'm Brain, which not many people know because he literally listed as I'm Brain, not Little Dicky. He said I'm Brain featuring Little Dicky. That's his rap stuff.
Okay.
He still has his joke songs on it, like Fuck Slow, all these songs.
Yeah.
All joke songs.
Yeah.
But he'll have his one rapping track on each album.
Yeah.
But he's not balancing, giving you the funny. He'll
That's
give
the
you
thing.
funny message.
Give us, and that's the thing. Eminem did that backwards because Eminem, like his first albums were like that, but later on his album he'd have like one or two joke tracks, but most part of his story was just like this is the legit
like Slim
stuff.
Shady LP was the jokiest, and then Marshall Mathers came. Then he hit you with Kim, and you're like, why am I listening to this song? Eminem show came out, Encore came out, and then like dude,
which one was the one where it was like really bad?
Where you what
Relapse?
Was it Relapse?
Relapse was terrible.
Yeah, Relapse.
Yeah, I mean, girl, that one. Where
Recovery.
Where he's trying to do the same jokey thing, and it was just like, no, you're past. Like,
that's the other thing.
It's too old.
It was Encore.
That was Encore.
Like another thing is you got to know when to evolve. Like, hopefully, Little Dicky, because that's the thing. This Little Dicky evolve.
Yeah.
Like this is a fun track. Mm-hmm. This is going to get some plays. It's going to. I'm sure if there's a clean version, I'm going to get requests to add it to playlists for my job because it's a type of song that when you're in. It's like Lonely Island, I Just Had Sex.
Oh, yeah.
Where someone is just yelling ridiculous things in the streets. And people sometimes love that stuff. And,
Too bad you can't add We're Back by the Lonely Island.
Didn't Lonely Island win an award, too?
I can't remember.
I'm so glad they're gone.
Yeah.
I think they're taking a big old break.
I'm going to look that up.
Because their last album was Pop Star, basically.
They can stay gone.
Really?
200%. I don't have no time for that. Like, there's levels of it, and then there's level like, okay, if we keep messing around, these white people are going to start coming out with anything kind of crazy, and I'm going to be singing about, I'm on a boat all day. Like, nah. You gotta, like, as much as it's wrong, and it's like, we shouldn't do this, and it should be equality, No, you gotta gatekeep sun stuff so it doesn't turn all to silly shit.
Yeah.
If we give it all away, it'll just turn into silliness.
I think it all balances out, because, I mean, if you get too silly, then you're going to have J. Cole come out with, what was his last one?
What was wrong with his last one?
No. I'm saying the balance. Like if you have all this silliness, like obviously there's going to be a shift.
Yeah, but
and people are going to come back with more serious stuff.
I'm going to put it in a different way. I don't want it coming from the.
Okay.
So wait, you want more serious guys doing it?
No, I don't want someone who's already.
Or you don't want any silly stuff at all.
I don't want.
No, okay, I see what you're saying.
I don't want someone who's already getting paid, making more money, making fun of my shit.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Okay.
Get out.
Like
you already make money.
Yeah,
someone else do it.
Yeah, the fact that the fact that they got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, like get out.
Was it for a comedy or was it for hip hop?
No, hip hop.
Okay.
And I remember even they said, "Why are we nominated?"
Yeah.
So I mean,
remember they don't make the decisions for that.
No, I know.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
People just constantly.
The more of this comes through, then the more the Academy's going to be like, "Well, okay," and then start just handing out things to whomever and whatever.
The Academy is already a joke.
It's been a joke, but.
What do they call the Grammys one?
Isn't it
no, I don't think it's the Academy. I think it's something else.
Keep of them.
The Grammys are a joke.
I
mean, if you guguys really are interested in watching a video that breaks down how the Grammys work, Murs, the rapper, did a video. If you look up Murs, hip hop, Grammy, I don't remember who he did it for, but just look that up. You'll find the video.
Yeah.
It's a couple minutes long. He explains exactly how it works. He explains the voting, the structure, and why, Fresh Prince got nominated back then, and why LL Cool J didn't, and stuff like that. So it's really, really interesting. It breaks down why the Grammys aren't necessarily relevant to hip hop.
Can I ask a really quick question? How come people are very upset that DJ JawzD Jeff, and Fresh Prince, won a Grammy, or is it?
I don't know. I honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Like I'm super like every time I hear that, like people talking like, Will Smith won a Grammy, and it's like, okay, so let's drive to Jeff Townsend's place and snatch back his 2 Grammys, because that was his name is on that thing first, and that was during the time where DJs were important first, and then
because the guy who was rapping.
But I agree with Jaws.
I'm kind of confused about.
I don't know why people were upset with Fresh Prince for that.
I'm not mad at it, but like, I understand it.
I think people were like, Rakim and this and that should be on there, and I think and then I think, I think what happened was that year that they won, DJ JawzD Jeff and Fresh Prince boycotted the Grammys because they're like, we're not even being shown on the TV show, and you're just kind of, you won. And it's like, really not like. It's an actual thing that's going on.
And you want to know why other hip hop artists are mad about that? It's exactly the situation.
They felt they were too jokey.
Imagine you got Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, and then Dicky wins a Grammy. For what?
Okay.
Like, if you're never going to acknowledge us, what are you giving it to him for? He's joking. Nah, you're not going to do that in my house. No.
But I don't think Will Smith was really.
Will Smith was not serious about nothing. in his raps.
Well, I mean,
DJ JawzD Jeff and Will Smith were not discussing like hip hop back then, as we've discussed, was more about a movement regarding the oppression of black people in a community, and then you had this kid who was doing party hip hop.
Because that was a little bit before gangster rap really came.
I know. But it
was right in the same time as self-destruction, and then you had Will Smith about parents just don't understand. Gotta hear with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because like people criticize hip hop and weren't willing to play it, but as soon as the favorable light poppy version of it came out, they were okay with it. And I do get that there, and that's a very problematic situation when it comes to hip hop and or anything for that matter.
We take it serious when we're not being serious.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good point.
Because I'm trying to think of when did rock and roll become more, they start taking it more serious.
Yeah, that's
I mean, we
thing.
like those are all like we should do multiple episodes on this because
that's a tangent I want to go on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, if anything, let's do another episode on just discussing rock and roll, hip hop, and stuff. I'm totally down to discuss that because that's and you know what?
Because it's the same growing pains. I find.
And shout outs to Lil Dicky for starting this conversation. As much as you being a fool is what started this, it's still very interesting because it led to a very detailed. Like we've been talking about this for like half an hour. Which is but I mean, it's an interesting subject. So you know, we're gonna burn through the geek news because we are already done. So hopefully you guys, still stick with us.
I almost got it. Wow, these guys did that.
Woo. So the first one, Just for Laughs, bought by Howie Mandel and ICM Partners. Damn. And they're the
movements.
One of the stipulations was that the headquarters had to stay in Montreal. So a lot of people are really excited about that.
That's amazing.
Because a lot of people expected that if Just for Laughs got bought out, the headquarters was definitely going to be leaving and most likely going to Toronto.
I can't believe the Quebecers let that get sold. That's their butter.
The guy is out though. Like Gilles, what's his name?
The guy.
Sexual assault.
The guy, the sexual assault guy.
Oh, he's another one.
That's what they had to say. Oh,
yeah. He had to get it. They had to get rid of him, so he had to sell.
Flip mode.
At least he sold it to a Canadian.
Yeah,
and a guy that started his career at Just for Laughs.
Yes, yeah.
Characters like Bobby started here too. Yeah. Like that blows my mind.
I think it's great.
The fact that he used to do stuff for Just for Laughs way back in the day when he had hair.
Did
the kid's voice. Bobby got his own show, Bobby's World.
Remember we used to put the glove over his face and blow it up.
Yeah,
he put the glove all the way over his nose and blow it. By the way, if you guys didn't know, that was actually really bad for him.
Yeah,
he was blowing capillaries in his nose and capillaries. Thank you. And was told by a doctor like you can't do that stunt on stage anymore because it might kill you because of how hard he had to blow up the glove. But Howie Mandel,
full circle.
Yeah, full circle, and I think that's great. I'm looking forward to. He said actually he's not planning to do anything because he said I don't want anything to change. I want the staff. I want the same teams. I want it run.
Lucky.
Yeah, he said I want it run exactly as it's being run right now. We just want to be the ones to put the money, and they're looking for more investors. So if randomly some rich person is listening to our podcast and look up ICM Partners and see if you can be one of the investors for Just for Laughs.
Skinny $5,000.
Yeah.
My man, $1,000.
Next up, Constantine is joining Legends as a full roster member for season 4.
A, I'm happy they're getting a season 4. B, I don't know if that should happen.
Yeah.
And someone's going to have to die.
Constantine's back.
He's been back.
He's going to sacrifice somebody to come back.
Probably. He's the type of character to do that.
He'll either
Someone's
replace
going to
Kid
hell.
Flash or they're going to turn this into Justice League Dark. So it's just like, who's he going to get rid of?
If they turn Legends into a Justice League Dark,
well,
I
as
am
well.
down.
Well, it is basically the Justice League.
Yeah.
I want to see Etrigan come in.
Yeah, that's what
They could always do that too. Yeah.
I wanna see that.
I would like a Jason Blood.
I would turn on that show.
Yeah.
I would actually start watching one of these.
I know, yeah.
One of these nonsense shows.
You never watched them.
Nonsense. Wave your hand at the show. Nonsense.
I would rather watch Pure West.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would. I would.
That shit did not age well.
Can I have an apple juice?
Wait, are you saying you'd rather watch Adam West's Batman?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Because Eartha Kitt's in there.
I don't.
This is
I know
from someone who's never seen the episode.
Wait, have you watched any of them though? Arrow, Flash.
I think I tried to watch Gotham.
You see?
Gothem's not even connected.
Tried.
That's fair.
I think
I'm kidding. He's like, see, he doesn't even know the universe. You're just nerd raged. You just nerd raged.
I think I saw a bit of Constantine.
Okay. When he
Because
was on
what's his
NBC.
name? Yeah, the black dude that was the Angel. He's in a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
The actor. I was like, okay.
The boy gave me
He's
shit
nerd-
over
he's-
Cyborgs.
I did watch a bit of Arrow, and I'm like, no, why is Huntress in here? She's
I
from
know.
Batman.
Yeah.
Stop this.
Actually, Huntress was and always will be part of both. Yeah. Huntress is barely used in Batman for her to be like, she's Batman.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man.
I get what JawzD is saying though.
I
She's
remember her
more
more
recognized for Batman.
I remember her more in a Tim Sales
You know who's also
comic book run, and I know that she bangs Dick Grayson way more.
Everybody's more recognizable in a Batman comic run if you have a cape and a cowl or
True.
anything.
That's fair.
recognizing
Or
Batman.
you just literally jack
Outta
the
here.
more famous Rogues roster for Arrow.
Nah, man. That's 'cause Batman got too much.
He does have a lot, but
That's not his
I
fault.
mean, we got to be honest though. Arrow when from
Gives
the
it
jump,
straight jacked, yes.
yeah.
So
But
I did watch Arrow and didn't care.
Because
Yeah.
they had the clause that they couldn't use they couldn't use Batman and Superman. Then like 2 years later, Superman's on TV and Arrow's like, wait.
Sorry for the tangents.
What?
No, that's
These
fine.
are no tangents. These are great.
I mean, we're
gonna-
talking about the show.
No, but I
so.
thought we were gonna burn through these.
Yeah, we're burning.
We'll still go. Ava DuVernay to direct the DC The New Gods.
Wow,
Big mistake.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Big mistake.
Why you don't have a thing? Yeah. What's with you?
Because she's the one that turned it. She turned down Black Panther, right?
No, I thought she was working
was
on it,
on
and
it,
then
and
they
they-
swapped her.
Is
I thought
it-
I thought they like no, and then
They were the ones that.
but
Okay.
then she ended up getting Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh yes, which is not that great.
Oh, you saw it?
Why didn't see it?
Oh, okay.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah, I'm like.
Oh, really?
I'm feeling like
I thought people. Okay, well, I mean, I definitely want to see it for myself, but that's fair. If that's what people are saying, that's what people are saying.
Like I didn't see it either, but I'm just like I don't know if this is gonna do as well.
I mean, I knew going up against Black Panther was going to be hard, but I didn't
And
realize
the live action Disney movies they
Yeah.
don't have a great track record.
I just didn't know. Well, except for Beauty and the Beast, but yeah, I know.
Yeah,
what
but
you're
I
talking-
mean,
yeah,
like
the
original
originals.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fair. I mean, Black Panther. I knew Black Panther would do well. I didn't know it would do 5 weeks at the top well. I didn't know it would kill Tomb Raider and push it down to 25. I didn't know it was gonna do stuff like
You
that.
didn't know it was gonna
Destroyed
run
Tomb
the
Raider?
throne.
Yeah, Tomb Raider like barely
Drop
made
the
what they
jewels.
expected because Black Panther won again that weekend.
Oh, too bad, Tomb Raider.
I know it's pretty rough.
And apparently that one's good.
Yeah, exactly. Lashana Lynch is replacing DeWanda Wise in Captain Marvel.
See, DeWanda Wise, you messed up because you said you didn't want to do Captain Marvel.
It's not-
to continue doing.
It's
your
not
Netflix
her.
show?
It's not her.
Of scheduling.
Contract. She had the contract for Netflix. She got the role for Captain Marvel. They were still negotiating the second season for Netflix, and Netflix confirmed
The second
and it was
season.
the second season,
And
and
it
it
was
was going to
gonna
conflict. So she had to back out. I mean, that
You would have been set for life as Monica Rambeau. Set.
we still don't know that what she's going to be, but I know. I'm hoping.
Only black girl in Command. Who's she gonna be? Is she gonna? Who's the girl that trained ballet trained Kitty Pryde? What's her name?
Oh,
The other random black girl too. That's an X-Men.
oh God!
Like there's like 3 black people in Marvel, like black girls in the Marvel universe that are prominent right now.
And then this is where my ignorance shows. You're sure it's not Storm? There's
Yeah.
Storm.
There's Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
There's Storm.
There's Bishop's sister.
Shard, who doesn't technically even count, and then there's girl who taught Kitty.
We'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Lashana Lynch.
We're all terrible.
Lashana Lynch is replacing DeWanda, so people are, they're happy that the replacement, because they were already filming.
Oh,
from what because we keep seeing Brie Larson and posting pictures of like getting ready for it.
Remember, that doesn't stop nothing.
True.
They took a dude out of a whole movie to put Christopher Plummer in.
Good.
Stevie Hunter.
Who?
Stevie Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, so you snuck.
And that movie was done.
Yeah, that's true.
That
20 days.
done.
Yeah. I was gonna say Back to the Future is my example where they replaced Eric with the Michael J. Fox. Mm-hmm. So Sebastian Stan would be interested in doing a Falcon Winter Soldier buddy cop movie.
Because you are in the next Captain America.
That's what I said.
I said
the only way they could do it is if Cap dies, Bucky becomes Cap, and him and Falcon work together. That's how you could do the buddy cop and still keep it.
They both have to hate each other.
Probably.
Or have some kind of, like, they're cool, but they're not cool.
But they're doing it for Cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would respect that story.
Because I feel, what was the last one? Was it Civil War? Yeah. It was Civil War where they kind of had that.
Yes.
That, like, they're fighting together against Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And even before that, they kind of had that, like, friction.
In the car.
And it was really, really
out of nowhere, too. You're kind of like, what?
Well, no, I don't blame him. It's like, well, I'm his old friend. Well, I'm his new friend.
And I've been helping him hunt for you for, like, 2 years. That's all my life's been. And we find you, and you're still out here trying to kill us. Thanks.
True.
I almost lost my wings because of you. Thanks again. Rel. Lil Rel, who was in Get Out. For those of you who, what's his last name? Howie, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's getting his own show on Fox. The show is being produced by Jared Carmichael, who was the star of the last show that Rel was on. And Lil Rel is the casting so far is him, Sinbad, and Jess Hilarious is replacing Jess Hilarious Moore. Is replacing another actress who had been cast, got booted after the table read. Something that I didn't realize happens, but happens often. Yeah, you can get table read? Yeah, if you get to the table read and they don't think there's the connection, they boot you and replace you, and she lost the role. I know, right? It's pretty crazy.
No.
Glad to see Sinbad back.
Yeah, I know.
But he's always been doing stuff. He still tours and plays music and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
but that's what one of my buddies was saying. He's just like, you know what? Now that Sinbad's in, I'd be down to check that out. I mean, me too. Sinbad. For all of us, we grew up watching him. So
his own show, different world, etc.
Oh yeah, he had his own show where he was like a stepdad, foster dad for a kid.
It was called Sinbad.
He was called Sinbad.
Yeah. No, I know, but that was the story, right?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Kilgrave, David Tennant is actually going to be coming to HBO in a comedy called Camping that's being produced by people whose names I don't want to say because I don't like them. Legit not saying her name. But yeah, so it's going to be cool.
Not what's her name?
Girls?
Yes, exactly. See, I didn't have to say it. But y'all,
I
didn't even say
said
it.
Coming into HBO, and I'm like, okay, you don't want to say her name. Oh, it's the girl's girl.
Yeah.
The girl likes to get naked and nobody wants to see her.
The girl who is
creeps on a black dude, younger black dude.
Yeah, and then
at the Met Gallery, and gets all mad
because he didn't want it.
Anyways, we're talking about this person way too much. In any case,
let's not talk about Flair.
Yeah, David Tennant is the person that we should be excited about because he's a great actor.
Kilgrave because I'm like, is it about Kilgrave? I'm confused.
No, I just wrote it because I just wanted to.
It's not about Doctor Who.
No,
I meant people yelling at the Doctor.
I should have written Doctor Who is coming. The only reason I wrote Kilgrave is because we're a geek show. I wanted to bring out the geek aspect.
Or not Doctor.
Well, because he's not the latest Doctor Who. He's not the latest Doctor Who.
Sorry, we're going to die.
Yeah. He's not the latest Doctor Who. That's why. Kilgrave's his last geek role. That's why I did that. Nightflyer, if you guys have seen the trailer, we posted it up on franklinarmstrong.com. It's a show that is based on a George R.R. Martin novella that he wrote about a team of scientists that are in space. He himself calls it Psycho in Space.
Ooh, novella. That means it was short.
Yeah.
And he finished it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're turning this into a series at Sci-Fi. The trailer's out if you guys want to check it out on the site, franklinarmstrong.com. And
not a series of books, a novella.
Yeah.
Into a series.
But
quiet you. Get through it.
But the showrunner got booted.
Snap.
Well, I mean,
it ain't safe for no one.
Yeah,
out
just
here.
like we disagreements. It only gone really well on this, so I'm moving on. Anyway, so he's gone, and that's a little weird. But the guy who did the script writing is now stepping in and for a bigger role. So he's going to be jumping on. Shia LaBeouf is going to play his own father in a movie about himself. This is a weird one. So
sorry, go on. Not super weird. I apologize.
Shia LaBeouf wrote a script about his life under a pen name and then is getting the movie made and cast someone to play the role of him, they call it a roman à clef. It means it's a story based in reality where the names are changed. So it becomes a fiction then because it's none of the names are the same. And he wrote this under a pen name and then told everybody, yeah, that's my pen name.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean,
surprise.
But at that point,
he already crazy.
Yeah. But it's just weird to me because it's like you wrote the script and it's about you and your father's relationship. You wrote it under a pen name, so no one would have known.
Yeah.
You would have been cast to play your own father. No one would have known, but now you're telling everybody.
I don't think no one wanted to cast him in anything, so he just did that. I'm pretty sure that was the trick. And the reason I was like, I'm going to take it back, that's not as weird, because of Mario Van Peebles did a movie about his dad. He played his dad, and it's through the eyes of him, his dad doing sweet slick back, sweet badass
Yeah,
song.
that's fair.
So I'm like, it's not that weird.
I guess.
But at least he was able to get the money to do that with his own name, with his own face.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf can't do that.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf isn't doing that.
He had to trick everybody.
Yeah. And also the stories about his father's alcoholism, which is going to be really. I feel like that's going to be heavy to try and play because
and he wants to do method.
Yeah, because he's a method actor, right?
That's not healthy for you.
Yeah,
even the guy that created that system said, "Don't do it. Stop it."
I've heard that.
Stop it.
Yeah, so that's the movie's gonna be called Honey Boy, because it was the nickname his dad gave him. So
pause on that whole name.
Dazzler is getting a one shot in June.
Why?
Because it's that time again.
Yeah. It's time to bring it back.
Because pop has changed again, so it's not disco. It's not, it's
she's
changed.
a punk singer this time.
See, it changed. Told you.
So
a little late.
Yeah.
Very late.
Like 15 years too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dazzler's going to be getting a one shot. Well, actually, probably like 30 years too late.
She's Avril Lavigne now.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what it's about. It's coming out in June. People, if you are comic book geeks, you want to check that out. And the last. Oh, go ahead.
One last joke. Dazzler's getting a one shot in June because Jubilee's a legit character. So.
I love the Dazzler Jubilee battle for supremacy of who is the better lame character is always so interesting.
Jubilee, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Jubilee, I think she's a vampire now, right?
Yeah,
so
she's winning.
Here you go.
Last piece of news: Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, who are both Thor and Valkyrie in the Thor Ragnarok, are going to be working on a new Men in Black spinoff together.
It. I don't care.
We've already said it. We don't want reboots and spinoffs. We've said it. So
no, I just don't care. You tried to do Men in Black before with R.I.P. R.I.P.D. didn't work.
Yeah,
and it was roughly the same people working on it. Men in Black 2 and 3, I don't care about.
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Why don't you take the Men in Black cartoon series that was really good, and
yeah, I would actually watch a Men in Black animated series feature film.
Yes,
I would be down because that was really well done. It was really well done. And that was more based on the comic book, not the movies.
Sort of, because in the comic they would actually straight up kill people instead of flashing them. Made it for kids. And also, I'm surprised that they're not talking about the stupid what was it? Men in Black cross 21 Jump Street weird thing that was been talking about.
No, was that never going to happen?
It was really weird. You're like, they're going to cross them over. I'm like, how is that even going to work? That makes no stupid sense.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. So I'm glad to hear that's not the case anymore.
Yeah. So I mean, Tessa Thompson is always modern day Lisa Bonet. So I'm down with it. Anything she's in, I'm down. I've already said that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the whole Geektastic Cypher. JawzD, what do you want to tell the people?
Check me out at Transformers Slag on YouTube. Also on Geeking Out at the Tower podcast, GOATT.com. And check me out at JawzD, JAWZD. I completely forgot. There's no period there.
Yeah.
Google Skin Deep.
There you go.
It's all there. Twitter, Instagram, all there.
Yep. Action Figure Skinny.
Yeah. It's all there.
And then that's the end of the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Geektastic Cypher. We are going to be on hiatus for 2 weeks. I know.
Sleep.
Yeah. So
catch up on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So if anything, I'm going to be putting the That's Canon, because we've done episodes of That's Canon. Mm-hmm. So we're still going to put those in the place on the Friday, so that you guys, so you still got something to listen to. Because we got these episodes sitting there and they're waiting to be heard. So we're going to put those in as specials. So you guys can still check it out. You can subscribe to us now everywhere. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, iHeart, TuneIn, Overcast, and Stitcher. We are on all of those platforms. So if you guys are fans of the show, or if you want to tell your friends, tell everybody. We're out there. We're everywhere. You have no excuse not to tune in.
Working.
We're doing it well. And that's the whole show. So check us out. FranklinArmstrong.com is the site. You can check us out on Instagram and Twitter at @AStrongFranklin. And you can follow us on Vero Social under Franklin Armstrong Collective, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/Franklin Armstrong DOTCOM. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is at Brian Holiday, HOLIDAE. That's the whole show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Peace, everybody. Deuces.